Jansen was a speed skating prodigy, and for the longest time he was expected to win the gold medal at the Winter Olympics. But no matter how talented he was or whatever he did, he just did not manage to win any medal. And suddenly it was his last race in the Olympics in his career, and he was again putting pressure on himself. This is your last race. You have to get gold this time. You have to get a medal. And while he was talking to himself like this, he realized, wait a second, my whole career, I was pressuring myself. I was putting all this pressure on myself to win a medal. And this is my last race ever. Why don't I just enjoy this? I had such a great career. I met so many great people, had great coaches. Why don't I just enjoy this last race, no matter what the outcome is? And so he just went in this last race of his with a completely different mindset. And what happened? He won the gold medal. When we want something so badly, we often tense up and also over-try. We put too much pressure on ourselves, get tense, and are over-trying. So our performance isn't as natural, it's stilted. Therefore, it's very important to relieve pressure. What's a good way of doing this? Gratitude. Jansen, before his last race in the Olympics, he was just reliving his whole career in his life. How great it was, what a privilege it was that he's even in the Olympics, and he's had such a great career so far. Even if he did not win a medal, he had so many great experiences, and he was just reliving through this, and it put him in a different mindset. He went into the last race with a much more positive attitude than this, I gotta win, when he was just over trying and putting too much pressure on. Something similar happened to me when I was doing stand-up at Cosmic Comedy, which is a comedy club in Berlin. It's awesome. And I remember I was just pretty new in the game, and it was the first time I think I was playing in front of, I don't know, between 120 and 150 people. It was a really vibrant crowd, and the show was going well, and so I was like, oh man, what if I fail? And I was just putting a lot of pressure on myself. And then just before, while I was waiting to go on, it's just like, wait a second, why don't I enjoy this? Because just a few months ago, I did not even do stand-up comedy, and I was sitting in this very room as an audience member and just thinking, wow, I wish I could be there and do comedy. And I just thought, oh my God, I can't believe I actually started with comedy. How great has it been? I can't believe I'm actually now invited to be in this show, in this very room. I can't believe all the amazing people I met through comedy, getting to know new people, all these things. I was just thinking, and that put me in a completely different mindset. Instead of like this, oh, what if, it was like, oh man, I'm so glad. And you're going to your performance with this attitude of whatever happens, I'm just happy to be here. And especially with comedy, where it's not about being really like, very tense up, and being loose and connecting with the audience, this really helped. I had an amazing set, I had a great time, and it really flowed naturally because of my attitude. So how can you apply this? For example, let's say you are running a startup and you actually desperately need to raise funding. You're now going to a lot of investors, venture capitalists, and trying to raise funds. You're really desperate. So the whole time you're just thinking, oh my God, we have to get this investment. We have to get this investment. Guess what happens? You're going to tense up, and you will also kind of reek of desperation. People will notice, and you will not have a good time. You will not perform well. You will not give a good speech, and people will notice. Instead, what you can do, even though the reality is still that pressure is there, you still have to raise some money, all that pressure might still be there. Try to focus on the things you can be grateful for, even in that moment. Think about the team you've assembled, the amazing people you've met already on this journey. Think about, wow, I was working at another company just months ago, and now I'm actually working on this very idea that's very important to me. How awesome is this? I get to speak to these investors. I got the invitation to even be here, and just even being here in this room and getting the chance to speak to them, what a great opportunity. Imagine you just reframe it, even though everything else stayed the same. You will go into that room as a completely different person with a different attitude. You will definitely make a much better impression. Plus, you will have a much better time yourself giving this speech. I know when people say, gratitude is the ultimate key, it works. It really works. This is not just some new age thing. It actually works. Just try it out before a really tense situation. Just reframe it as, what can I be grateful for in this situation? See how the pressure just diminishes, and you will feel much better about yourself, the situation, and the performance. We learned from Dan Jansen what we can do to improve our performance. If you want to learn from other great athletes, for example, Pele, one of the best football players of all time, and what he did just before a game, check out this video.